everybody, Denise with Lazy K Mountain Homestead. Well, I'm out here in the greenhouse. It is about 60 degrees in here and I am so happy. Can you believe my last video was just last weekend? So that was Saturday or Sunday. Willis and I were back here in the back of the property checking out everything after the snowstorm and putting chips in the cameras, and it was like 5 to 6 inches of snow and ice, and it was 5 degrees. And here it's 60 degrees. It's raining. It's cloudy, but I am happy. You can see by the smile. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and plant some cool weather crops. And I'm going to plant them in grow bags because they're easy to handle in case we do get down again in like -5 or -3 or even 10. I can't keep the greenhouse warm enough, even with the heaters. I got to keep it at least 40 degrees. And sometimes it'll get too chilled for them. So, but with the grow bags, we get back to the action and you always get off on a tangent. We've got handles. I can put them up on the porch, put them in the house till that blows over, and I usually have grow lights in the house or heat bulbs we can put over these and keep them on their steady stream to growing. So what I'm going to do right now is, this might be gross to some of y'all, but I'm a homesteader, farmer, grew up that way. I went and got me some rabbit poop out of the rabbit hutches. Look at that. That's black gold. So I am going to mix this with all of my dirt in a 5-gallon bucket. And let me see if I can back this camera off a little. I got it on a piece of cardboard here because I had some grass growing and I need to kill that in here. So let me put this down so you can see what I'm going to do. Here's my 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to pour some of it in there. Now, some of this is a little chunky, but I got these cool, like, Freddy Krueger gloves for Mother's Day from Kelly and Austin and them last year, so I'm going to use these. And I am just going to go ahead and they're also kind of a rubbery plastic so I can wash them. Just kind of tear that up in there. And yeah, it does stink, I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to pour some dirt in there. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep mixing that up. Now, rabbit poop, I could go ahead and just, let me put that so you can see what we're doing. I could go ahead and just put it right in here, on top of the seeds, on top of the plants. It's perfectly fine. So is goat poop, which we've got that too this year. Finally got my goats. And, but I'm just going to go ahead and mix that up in here because it'll be distributed a little bit better. And if you guys want to Google rabbit manure, it is probably one of the best manures that you can have. First of all, it's organic. And second of all, it's got just about every nutrient, mineral source that you'd want for your plants. And I mean flowers, crops, evergreens, you name it, you can put this on. It has nitrogen in it, of course, because it is a manure. But it is loaded with a lot of other things, whereas like horse, cow, pig are all great manures, but it doesn't have what rabbit has in there. So these babies pay for themselves. I don't have to buy manure, fertilizer. Once in a while, Willis will want to buy some triple 19 or something for his corn, but I think I'm getting him pretty well over to the side where we have our own manure, and it's, you know, we feed the rabbits, and it's a circle of life. We have the manure. And look how dark that dirt is now since I mixed that rabbit manure in there. That is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more manure in here. Some of it is fresh. You can hear it dropping. And some of it has been in there. I haven't really in the last month, well, since Christmas, cleaned out my hutches, but that's okay because they got plenty of straw and hay in there. And rabbits will poop in one area of their hutch, so it's not like they're on top of it. Okay, let me put some more dirt in here. If I can at least get one of these done, I can plant, I'm going to plant cabbage, broccoli, carrots, beets, and let's see, what else do I have? Maybe that might be it. I got all these seeds plus more in from Shumway. Pac-Man broccoli. This hasn't been on the market for years that I've been able to find. This used to be the go-to broccoli since I was a kid. And a lot of times things happen with the seeds and the plants, and when they are trying to harvest seeds, it happened with beans a couple years ago. There's a blight, and it ruins the plant and the seeds. So that's what happens when you hear about a seed that is not available. That's why. And I've got carrots. Let's see, 3 kinds of cabbage this year. I've got, of course, the premium late flathead Dutch. That is 105 days. That's a later one, but that is something that's it's an heirloom, and it's something that we love. It's a big cabbage, and it's flat, and it's really tasty and sweet. Early Jersey Wakefield. That's a 62-day cabbage, and that is real sweet. It's let me see if it will tell me. Let me see here. It doesn't tell me how many pounds this is, but from memory, I think this is about a 5 to 6 pound head of cabbage, and they're round, so they're a nice size for an early cabbage. And then we've got something that's different. Don't know anything about this one. It's also a late cabbage, 100 to 110 days. Willis picked this out from Shumway. We always like to try something new every year just to see, and if it works, we may try it again, but if not, at least we tried something new. You know, you learn something new. But anyways, this is called Danish ballhead. And I don't know anything about it. I'll have to look this up. I didn't see a whole lot on it from Shumway in the catalog, but I like to know. And I'm going to put everything in my journal. I just use composition books, and I write down when I planted them, the temperature, how many days to germination, and on the back of these, it will tell, or on the front, let's see. This is, germination is 14 to 21 days, and these are the new kind of beet. I'm going to soak these for 24 hours in some warm water, and that will help start the germination for beets. My dad didn't used to do that. I really have never done it, but Will said his mom did, and she always had great luck with beets. Dad always had great luck with beets. I don't know what my problem is, but I'm going to try to conquer that. So we got that one, and so that is what we've got. So we've got 3 cabbages, a broccoli, a carrot, and the beets. So that is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6 that I'll have to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, okay, good. Got these going. I'll put these over here. I'm going to continue to work on my soil, which is really important, especially if you're using something like a grow bag or a raised bed, or even, you know, here in this soil that we have in Monterey, for us on this side of Monterey is mostly sand. So we have to amend our soil every single year. We do that by buying mushroom dirt. We put a lot of the compost. We have a compost bin over here. We have turkeys, chickens, the goats, and the rabbits. And we put that in the rows, and the mushroom dirt goes everywhere. And then we lime, and we use the pelleted lime because it's kind of like a time release form of lime. It's not the white stuff where it goes everywhere, and lime will help. And you can get a soil tester in any of those catalogs or at your local co-op, and they'll send it off and let you know what you need for your soil. But getting back to like grow bags and raised beds, even though you've got your soil contained, those vegetables or plants or flowers or whatever you've got in your beds, they took out what they needed. And unless you grew something behind that or before that, that would replenish that nutrient that they took out, it's going to be lacking. So you really have to read up on what you need for that. And using rabbit manure, you're going to pretty much replenish everything you need. You can buy this too. I've seen people where they sell rabbit manure on the side of the road. A little kid, I think, oh gosh, I think it was in Georgia. I may be wrong. Don't quote me. He was selling it on the side of the road, and he was making some money. Little, I think they called it black gold, Texas tea. But anyway, let me get back to this. And I'm going to fill my bags up. And then I'm going to go ahead and plant my seeds. And I'll be back in a few minutes to show you all that. Okay, guys, I have got all my dirt in my bags. And let me show you that. I've got them down here on this shelf. And the reason I've got them down here, I'm going to go ahead and have them underneath here. So if I need to put a heat lamp, I can just attach it here and the heat will stay really nice and under here because it'll rise, but then this wood will make it go back down. So that is the method to my madness. And I actually got 3 buckets of dirt. By the time I got all the dirt out of these bags, which was about a half bag, and I ran out there and I got more rabbit manure. I had 2 more of these and I just mixed them all together. And I've got another whole bucket, and then I've got that manure ready to go. I had to go in the house for a minute. My phone was losing charge. So I went ahead and got my baseball cap because my head was sweating out here. It was so warm. But it's cooled down now. It's actually under 50. But it's going to be 50 tonight. So it should be about the same, I would imagine, tonight. So what I wanted to show you was I've got my water here from my rain barrel. I was going to take you out to the rain barrel, but it is pouring rain. And we've got a huge ice chunk in, 55-gallon rain barrel out there. But it's raining and I don't want to get sick because this is what we call pneumonia weather, where you think it's warm, but it's not. So what I'm going to do, I've got my rainwater here, and you can use any kind of water. But I'm going to go ahead and find my beets. Crosby's extra early Egyptian. I've never used these before. And they're a smaller beet, but they're supposed to really be a good beet. So I'm going to go ahead and soak these for 24 hours. So we're just going to put them in this water. Now they're going to float, and then they'll just kind of sink to the bottom. And what this will do is help the germination process. And even though that's a lot of beets for one of these grow bags, I'm going to go ahead and thin them as they grow. And I'm not going to take them out of these grow bags for the beets. Everything else is going to be a seedling, like except, well, the carrots. I'm not going to take the carrots out either. So that's pretty deep, and these are half Danvers, so they only get about 6 inches long anyway. So that'll be perfect for this. And I'll have to thin the carrots too. You do have to thin because it's kind of like survival of the fittest, and you want to have as many as you possibly can. So I usually thin them about 2 to 3 inches from each other, so they've got enough for a good growth. And that's what it also says on these beets. And I believe, let's see, I didn't bring my glasses out here, of course, but I can read pretty good. Yeah, these beets are about 4 inches around. That's about as big as they get. So that's a pretty nice sized beet, so fingers crossed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set my beets over there. And what I did was I have a little spray bottle, And I've just got the rainwater in this. And once I put my cabbage and broccoli in these bags, I'm just going to go ahead and spray the top. And that way it doesn't kind of mess with the seed itself. The seed will just sit there and we'll just continue to spray it until we see the seedling come up. And there'll be a lot of seedlings in here. And what I do is I transplant them into solo cups. I know that's a brand name, but these are so economical compared to the little black cups. And I sell to the general public. And everybody's like, oh, that's a great idea. Because your overhead, is what you're trying to eliminate as far as money goes. So you're making a little bit of profit. So what I do is I just put a little hole in the bottom for drainage. And then I'll have dirt in there when it's time to transplant the seedling, and they just stay in here until I sell them or I plant them myself. So that's just a little tip. I try to be as frugal as possible. And I actually had one of my customers donate to me a bunch of plastic cups. They were from a business, and she asked me if I'd like them. And I said, yes, thank you so much. And I had another customer call me right before Christmas and said that he had come across some cardboard boxes that had the little squares and in them, and would I like them because he thought that would be great for me to be able to put these cups in for people to take home. Because what I do is I try to, I don't have any on hand here, but try to save as many cardboard boxes as I possibly can so people can carry them out to their car. So thank you to my wonderful customers. I really appreciate it. And speaking of which, guys, hey, if you like, share, and subscribe on this YouTube channel, boy, I'd really appreciate it. Willis and I really try hard to bring good content, fun content, and we'd really appreciate your support. We don't get paid yet by YouTube. I think we're almost at 500 subscribers, and I think at that point we might be able to be in a category where we will possibly get some kind of money for it. I don't know, but I think our watch time hours have to go up too. So we'll see. I know about social media. I know about YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that. We're also on TikTok, Lazy Tea Mountain Homestead. So hopefully maybe one day. If not, I just have fun. We have fun making these videos, and we enjoy doing this together. Okay, back to the seeds. Sorry, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've got cabbage, and I bought these again at Shumway. Seeds are pretty high this year. This is a ½ ounce of the Danish ball head, and I am just going to take probably, I'm just guesstimating about a tablespoon, because you can transplant cabbage seeds once they're up and they've got a couple, about 4 leaves. You can transplant them nicely, and I just go up underneath the dirt, bring them up, and just kind of separate them with my hands, and they don't go into a lot of transplant shock. So that's one good thing about cabbage and broccoli. Okay, so let me go ahead and back this up a little bit and put my camera down. All right, and again, I've got dirt in here. Get that over here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. There you go. And I'm just going to sprinkle these all around, just right on top, just like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of this extra dirt that I've got right here, and I'm just going to sprinkle that right on top too. It's just a thin little layer, maybe 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. You don't want a whole lot. Your seedlings got to emerge. And then I'm going to take my spray bottle full of water, and you want it at room temperature. And I'm just going to spray this, kind of saturating this top here. So these seedlings realize that they're getting water, dirt, fertilizer, and it's time to grow. No longer sitting in there. And remember, the warmth of the your surroundings is what also promotes the germination. So you got to make sure that that's up to par too. And you don't want to forget to label what you're planting too. Now this pen isn't the greatest, but I did put ball head cabbage, and I'm just going to kind of stick it in there. I'll come back tomorrow and with a better marker, but I'm just going to go ahead and stick it right in there so I know what I did. And when I get back in the house, I'll write all this down in my journal. Because Willis will always say, when did we plant that? And I'll say, I know it was in January. So I've been doing this for quite a while now. Writing it down in the journal. And when we've got the gardens out, you know, that aren't raised beds, just regular row gardens, I go ahead and I make a grid, and I write down everything and where it is, because we plant so many tomato plants and watermelons and things like that, so many different kinds, that sometimes we'll forget. And even though once the tomatoes are up and you can see what they are, sometimes you forget what you've planted and you want to see what did well and what didn't do well, and are we going to plant that again? So that's just a little tip too. All right, this is the early Jersey Wakefield. This is 62 days. Now I know that's a cabbage, but you can write cabbage down. If I had a better pen, I thought this was going to be all right, I would put the germination date on there, but like I said, I'll come back tomorrow and do that. Okay, our last cabbage is going to be the premium late flathead Dutch. That's hard to say. So again, I'm just pouring out about a tablespoon in my palm of my hand. And, well, that's maybe a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. You see how small the seeds are? Cabbage. I have never been able to save cabbage seeds. I have tried. We tried last year. We let them bolt after we harvested it, and then you get a lot of little teeny cabbages, kind of like you do broccoli, but you're not going to eat them. They really don't do anything. But if you let your cabbage plant stay in the ground, they'll bolt, and the flowers will come up, and they'll have like these little pods on them. And broccoli do the same thing. And we brought them up to the house last year and put them on some newspaper. I don't know what happened. The pods opened, they dried, but there was nothing in there. So I don't know if it was a hybrid, which possibly could have been, or something that you can't save, which happens a lot these days too. But we'll try again this year. Because I know the Flathead Dutch and the early Jersey Wakefield, I know that is heirloom. I'm not sure about Ballhead, but I think it might be because it takes so long. Okay, so this is Flathead Dutch. And I'm going to put late on there because there is an early, which I don't have. All right, I'm going to put that down there. Take my spray bottle and just go ahead and really saturate the tops here. So, let me get some of this dirt. This beautiful dirt here with all that good rabbit manure in there. There we go. And we're just going to saturate this. Like I said, spraying this doesn't disturb your seeds. And you do this until you're ready to transplant. At least that's what I do, because you don't want to put the seedlings into shock. And if you pour water in there, even with a waterer like this, see the holes are pretty big, you can disturb those seeds and move them around. And I don't want to do that. I want them to just kind of stay where they are. And I'll come out here every day depending on the weather, how many times a day I will water them. Okay, so here we go with broccoli. Now this is Pac-Man, like I was telling you earlier. First time I've seen it in years. This was only 30 seeds. I was really surprised at the amount of seeds, because usually when you buy broccoli and cabbage, you're getting a bunch. But seeds are so outrageous now. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all 30 into this next grow bag here, doing the same way I did the cabbage. Just going to go ahead and sprinkle it all over. Make sure I get every one of those 30 out of there. And you can buy these on Amazon, these little tags. These were pretty reasonable. Okay. Hold on, Brady wants to come in. He's in the rain. You want to come in, Brady? Come on. Get it out of that weather. All right. Brady's my dog, if you guys, you know that from other videos. Okay, so this is the Pac-Man cabbage. And it is a 50 to 55 day, Pac-Man broccoli, sorry. That's what I get for talking. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle some dirt here. One thing about my animals, they love being in the greenhouse with me. The cats, the chickens, dogs, they all like coming in. Alright, so there we go on that. Those are done. Let me bring this over so you can see. Let's see here. Turn this. Okay, we're down to our last two. This one here will be for tomorrow for the beets. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some carrots in here. And they're half Danvers. And like I said, they're a short carrot, about 6 inches. Now, if it was a longer carrot, I would fill my grow bag all the way up. And I'm going to use probably just about, I don't know, half a teaspoon of carrots, because I do have to thin them. And I'm just sprinkling them like I did everything else. Okay? And again, put the dirt on. Now I'm going to put a little bit more dirt on these than I did the cabbage and broccoli, because these guys are staying in this bag. Alright. So we're just going to go ahead. Guess I need a little bit more water there. I need to get a bigger spray bottle. I had one, but I had to use it for the goats. And so I've got it over there in the goat barn. But this seems to work. It's got a pretty good spray circumference. So I'm just, again, saturating that. These grow bags are nice because when it does get warm, you can just set them outside. The rain, or when you have to water them, when they're staying inside these bags, it just goes right through this cloth. I've had some of these bags, I guess, for about 4 years now, and you can see they're still in really great shape. I love them, and they're very economical. I know about my first 12, I think 4 years ago, and I think it was under $20, so I was really happy with that. Okay, let me just put carrots on here, and half Danvers. Alright, so there we go, guys. there's what I'm planting today. Tomorrow I'll be out here and plant these beets. They're going to do really well with the soaking them. I just know they are. I just have to feel a good vibe in there. I'm going to bring these all in. It's a little moist out here, and I learned my lesson about keeping my seed packets out here in the greenhouse. Even in the summer, the moisture gets to them, and they become a soggy mess. But anyways, that is my video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Getting some of these seedlings started, and I'll probably be doing more in a couple weeks. I'm going to try to have enough cool weather plants, the broccoli, cabbage. I'm got some cauliflower on order. It didn't come with this order. So when people are ready to put that in the ground around the end of March around here, depending on our crazy weather on the plateau, I'll have it ready for sale. So anyways, y'all have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.